What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm super excited to be bringing you guys another amazing VGC 2021 Series 8 rental team that features one of my absolute favorite restrictive mons, Giratina. This has been one of my favorite mons to use in these restricted formats for years, and today we're actually rocking an event Giratina from all the way back in 2013. This thing's almost 10 years old, and I've been waiting for a really long time. Now that we can actually use that item or whatever that makes it so old Pokemon can be used for competitive play, I'm able to use my shiny Giratina the Festive, and I actually think Giratina's got a lot of good things going for it in this format. Access to dual Wingbeat to give it Airstreams in max mode, access to Stone Edge to help check Incineroars, Ho-Ohs, and Yveltals, and last but not least, Poltergeist, another Isle of Armor tutor move. It's a 110 base power physical ghost move that uses their own item against it. It makes Giratina hit a lot harder than it used to. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be pairing Giratina with our Neutralizing Gas Choice Scarf Weezing, a combo you've seen me use a bunch of time on this channel. It's one of my golden oldie go-to favorites. I normally would pair it with Dragapult, but since Giratina's another Ghost Dragon type, it seems like it would go very well together, and since we're already using a Weezing, I decided to add a Regigigas to the team as well, a vested Regigigas, and it actually hits super hard. I love this Regigigas set. I decided to add a Celesteela to this team because I think Celesteela goes amazing with Giratina. I think those two are what the actual core is, and holy moly, do they have just perfect synergy. The things that Steel is weak against, like the electric attacks and the fire attacks, are completely mitigated by the Giratina. The things that Giratinas are weak against, well, those Pokemon just tend to struggle with Steela. Also, Celesteela does get the Wide Guard attack, which is one of the best attacks in the game. And for the last two mons, I actually just threw together two mons that really mess with your opponent's team preview, but can also add a ton of versatility to the team. I decided to add a Togetic because I wanted a really bulky follow me user, and Togetic gets a couple things that Pokemon like Clefairy, for example, doesn't get. It gets access to a recovery move in Morning Sun, so they have to play around my redirection, they have to play around getting Yawn, and they also have to play around my Protect, and the fact that if they ignore it for a little bit too long, I can start restoring my own health with Morning Sun. And it just makes Togetic a very unique pick for this team. Also, I wanted a ground type nullification, so I could switch in from my Weezing if I was afraid of like a Max Quake or something, and it's not like reliant on its ability like Clefairy is, because I don't want to ever have a board that's like Weezing and my redirection mon, and then like have Clefairy's Friend Guard turned off by my Weezing. So I think Togetic's like a perfect Pokemon here, and because we're not really using any attacks, there's no reason to use the Togekiss. And then last but not least, I really think Pheromosa is another amazing Ultra Beast addition to this team. U-turn makes it so we can get out of dodge real quick. We have the coaching. We can go over coaching on our Regigigas. We can go coaching on our Giratina. We can go coaching on our Steela because, again, we have the Heavy Slam, which makes us a little bit more physical. And we also have just big close combat. I think Pheromosa is just a very underrated Pokemon. People kind of stopped using it now that all these restricteds are out. And Pheromosa has a pretty good matchup against a lot of them. It outspeeds a lot more than you might think. It's base 151. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this team, and you've actually made it this far in this video, think about actually sticking around till the end of the video where we fully review all of the team. We're going to break down going into the EV spreads, going into the moveset choices, and all that stuff at the end of the video. So be sure to watch the whole video. Guys, if you guys are thinking about something to do to waste your time, get into that part. Think about answering the question of the day and letting me know what you think the most underrated restricted Pokemon is in the Series 8 format. Giratina is one that's probably pretty underrated. I'm probably going to see a lot of people saying that Comfey is the most underrated, but I'm talking about something that actually has some use. I think Rayquaza is another one that's pretty underrated that might actually see some competitive play. So let me know what you think is the most underrated restricted in VGC 2021 Series 8. Let's hop into these battles and see if we can make some weakness policy Giratina work. Here we go. Okay, so we see Tornadus Ogre, wise choice, Raichu, Kartana, Incineroar, and Ditto. Ditto's actually a really good mon. I used Ditto with the last restricted regional that I went to in Knoxville. Very good Pokemon. I would say it's not as good when there's only one Uber on the board. Also, Weezing can turn the Ditto off, so that's really cool. Let's think about what we really do want to do here. I think Weezing great here. I think Weezing Giratina is super strong. Best thing I can do is fake out with Raichu, and it's okay, your rest of your mons are garbage against this Giratina. So we're gonna go Giratina. We're gonna go Weezing. I think Mosa is actually really nice here. Sorry, not Mosa. Steela, and then do I actually like Mosa though? Because it's sashed. Redirection's okay, but there's a lot of AoE from the Ogre, so I don't want to deal with that. And I don't really want the Regigigas. I'll bring the Mosa here. Let's go. Yeah, Ogre's probably a hard matchup, but it is possible that, like, I think we might be able to one-shot it if we get our boost off. Like, Weakness Policy, if he doesn't max it, and he just goes for, like, a Water Spout or something, like, one good thing that Giratina actually had going for it in previous formats was that it was a great check to Primals. Things being, you know, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. Giratina was able to, you know, in the Origin form with Levitate, block all of what, you know, the Fire Ground Primal Groudon was working with. And then, like, Ogre could Ice Beam it, but, like, you're literally a Giratina, so it's, like, do your worst, right? So, against those type of Pokemon, Giratina has a pretty decent matchup, and, you know, our set's actually made to help deal with things like Incineroar a little bit better. I guess the number one thing I'm worried about is, like, Ditto coming in, right? Ditto could be really, really harsh here, but we're going to be able to take away the rain, and I don't know if I actually outspeed that Ogre with my Giratina. That's going to be... Well, we're going to risk it all right here. I mean, I can go Airstream and then Phantasm to make sure that we outspeed things. But if he goes for the Fake Out, I'm just big sad. I'll go for the Phantasm, and I'll go for the Brutal Swing. I want to see if it works. Let's see if we can make this work. It's totally possible his Ogre has, like, very limited speed investment and is made to be very bulky. And if that's the case, we're going to be just in a great spot here. Because we're going to already be outspeeding. But let's see. If he tries to switch out the Kyogre for Ditto, he's like, okay, he's maxing it. And he is faster than me. So I wonder who he's actually hitting. Because another thing here is, like, if you want to Fake Out and nuke my Weezing and just eat this Phantasm, you're eating a Phantasm. Like, I don't think you want to do that because I just bring up Mosa and I'm just in an amazing spot. So I just go for, like, a coaching play and then I'm probably going to be able to steamroll it from there. I probably should have went for a dual, or it's like the, I probably should have went for the Airstream here. But it's okay. I don't want to get those speed boosts because I don't want his Ditto to copy my Giratina and just dumpster me, right? That's the reason I didn't do it. Now let's see though. Giratina's super good here. What do you need? Like Hailstorm me? I think they're just nuking the Weezing. But like if they're going for like a Nuzzle play, like Giratina's gonna do a lot. So there's a Brutal Swing, fastest thing on the board. You'll love to see it. And there's my Policy. It is active. Policies are up right now. And let's see. We crit the Raichu. We take those. Nuzzle. It is Nuzzle. Cool. So I'm happy I didn't Airstream. I didn't need to. Hopefully I don't get fully paralyzed. And let's see if he's actually going for an attack onto Weezing. He's going to Geyser. So he's probably hitting the Weezing. Which is totally fine. Like, Weezing literally did his job. I think we're going to be in a good spot. Can I one-shot your Ogre with this? It's +2. Like, I have no... And you're faster than me. So, like, you're fast. Please don't be paralyzed. Please don't be paralyzed. Let me get that one hit. That one... And he's orbed. Wow. Oh my gosh, you're gonna take so much damage. You might actually lose it. It's +2. That's a lot. That's actually just so much. We need to bring out a Mon, though, that can not be nuzzled. I mean, we could bring this out and wide guard things. I'm just gonna bring out the Mosa. Mosa helps check the Ogre. I think I'm just gonna close combat the Raichu. Because I want it gone. Don't want to Rock Fall. I don't really think that's value. I don't need to Airstream, so I'm just gonna Phantasm again. And close combat will be able to take this Raichu out. I actually think U-turn could probably take it out, but like I'm sashed and that's fine. And I don't think that's static Raichu. It's probably Lightning Rod. I would not be surprised to see a Max Guard Ogre. Yep, he's gonna Max Guard and try and nuzzle my Mosa, and I'm not gonna have any part of it. So Mosa should be able to get this KO. We are running an Adamant Mosa, so we're gonna get a Beast Boost there. Doesn't really matter what Giratina is doing. I almost want to say it's better if we get fully paralyzed here, because we wouldn't show if we were using like a different move for a different situation. So if we were to get parried here, that wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be technically beneficial by denying. It would be beneficial by denying info, because what it says is like that's the move that I want to use, and you know, for all he knows, I could have tried to like, you know, I could have went for the Airstream there, or I could have went for the Rock Fall there, and that would have been revealing extra info. But he's in a pretty bad spot. We're both Amon down, right? We are both Amon down. And his Uber, like, low-key, he's going to go for Tailwind then. Does that matter, though? I don't actually think that matters as much as you might think. I'm actually going to Rockfall here. Actually, am I? Let me think about that. Because, like, I bet he's sashed. I'll Rockfall because it'll just take it out. And I think we can actually KO with U-turn into this guy and just bring out our... Let me think about this. Because we'll get to save the Mosa this way. I'm pretty sure this KOs. So, yeah, this is fine. Bring out the Stila and be good to go. It's stab U-turn. People think, no, don't U-turn, it's weak. I'm like, I have a +1 and it's stabbed, and I don't want to take Sandstorm damage on my Mosa just yet. Hopefully I don't, get fully paralyzed this turn, because I am going for a Rockfall into a Torrent. But I think I'm in a really, really good spot. But you can totally go for Tailwind. I can't really stop the Tailwind from happening. It'll clock the Sash on my Mosa, but that's like the best he can really do. Or we can go for like a Hailstorm or something like that to try and also like break the Mosa further. But again, we're U-turning, so we're going to be able to like stabilize pretty well, I think. He's thinking about it. There's the Tailwind. This is his best shot. I do think that is his best shot. And he's probably going to Geyser the Mosa, hoping that we're like not sashed. He's Lightning. Okay, that's fair. That's also fair. He probably just didn't have like a... I understand that. I totally do understand. That's not even terrible. Being able to set terrain, maybe his last Mom was something that could synergize with that. I'm surprised he has an electric attack on that Ogre when he likes to pair it with Raichu. I am surprised about that. So he makes a little bit more orb damage. This will KO. And we bring in our Steela. The good Pokemon. I think Steel and Giratina go so well together. Beast Boost, I don't even need it. And he's probably thinking, ha, I'll just kill your Mosa next turn. It's like, bro, I'm gonna wait your Tailwind out with these guys. These guys are thick. And hopefully, my Giratina gets to attack this turn. That'd be super, super nice. It's still raining too if it doesn't. So like that would mitigate like a lot more, fire damage. We are paralyzed. A little bit never lucky there. But like I said, if he has like a fire Pokemon in the back, like this would make it so our Steela mitigates a lot more of that damage. It does suck though, because that's probably a Sash on that Torn. Ditto. Are you? I would have won the game easy. Oh, that game would have been over because he's taking over everything now. Oh, that is so not great for me. Oh gosh, that's so bad. All right, this is the worst thing ever. The good thing is though, he's bad. I'm gonna tell you why he's bad right now. He's going to go for Poltergeist, and we do not have an item, so we're gonna be able to Poltergeist him. Let me think about this. He has Wingbeat. He sees the Stone Edge. I think I'm just gonna Leech Seed into the. I'm gonna Leech Seed into the Thunderous Slot. He's probably gonna taunt me, but like he's gonna go for the Poltergeist into my Giratina. I know it. I know he is. Show it to me. Show me Poltergeist. You don't deserve to copy my shiny Giratina. He could also Poltergeist the Steel and get the KO on it. Goes for the Hurricane. I think he's trying to confuse my Giratina. It's not going to do a ton. He might go for like a dual Wingbeat in that slot or something. Stone Edge. And it's going to Stone Miss. He actually hit the Giratina, so wise choice. He actually made the right play. I think that's probably the best play. He could have went for the Wingbeat, but like, I think he made the right play. I was going to say I thought that missed for a sec, but he didn't go for the Poltergeist, so good player alert on this guy. You saw he had the Choice Scarf. You saw we were able to take it out. Giratina busted, obviously. And we're in a good spot now. Steel is just going to be able to 1v1 the Tornadus, and we're going to be able to win. Yo, we had to fight against two Ubers that game. Ditto and the Kyogre, right? And we just go for another Poltergeist here. And at this point, we're just going to grind them out. Probably actually better to do a Wingbeat. Okay, he just runs anyways. We take those. Holy moly, Giratina busted. You'll love to see it when it works, right? You love to see it. All right, so we're going up against somebody that doesn't have a restricted Mon, but I'm not going to let that stop me from showing you guys exactly what this team is supposed to do. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be leading with a big Giratina, and I think Giratina Weezing actually just works pretty well here. I could also talk about going like Pheromosa, and just going for like a coaching play, but we could get fake outed from that Raichu. I don't want to get fake outed. They can fake out our Weezing too, but like I don't think that's as big of a deal. But we have Weezing and Giratina. Then we have the Gigas in the back in case they ever actually take it out. Like I could go Gigas. I don't know if I actually want Steel here. Togetic's also relatively hard to use. I think we'll bring the Mosa. I think I am gonna bring the Gigas just because like Earthquake does so much damage to like all those Mons. I don't actually need to like max the Giratina. Like it's a good max Mon. I don't need to max it. So like I said, this guy doesn't have a restricted Mon, but Giratina is a hard Pokemon to build around. Similar to the question today, what do you guys think the most underrated restricted Mon is? It has a lot of weaknesses that are really popular. Ghost, Dark, Fairy, Dragon, Ice. Those are probably some of the most common like typings in this format. A lot of the restricted Mons all have moves that either stab those types or are packing like ice beams to deal with other Pokemon that function that way, or Shadow Balls or Dark Pulses or what have you. So it's really hard to use Giratina, but I would say every single Giratina victory, it just feels so good. I don't know how else to explain it. You know, this Giratina is actually a Giratina from the event from, what is it, Gen 4? It's in the, I don't remember if this is an event Giratina, I remember that. Giratina the Cherish, you can see I've had this Giratina for super long. Let's check it out. Does it say it in here? Yeah, summer 2013. It's like almost 10 years old. That's ridiculous. This Giratina is so good. It must have been a Gen 5 event that I'm thinking about. No, it's still Gen 4, I think. I don't know, maybe you guys will correct me. Anyways, this is an old Giratina. But what do you want to do? I think we just take the Raichu out. Right? I think we just dumpster this Raichu. So we're going to Phantasm the Raichu, lower the defense on the Pex. And the way the team works is we're going to be Brutal Swinging. So Brutal Swing is going to break sashes on both the opponent's mons if they have them. It's also going to activate our Giratina's weakness policy. And they're maxing something. I'm thinking it's going to be the Raichu, and I'm thinking that Raichu is going to get dumpstered. They can totally go for like a Psychic onto like my Weezing. But what they're really doing is just opening up a slot for like my Pheromosa to come out to provide like coaching support for my Giratina. So it's like super nice. Remember, like I said, if they were sashed, this will be breaking it with the Brutal Swing. And our Weezing does outspeed that Raichu right now. It's a full speed Weezing, and it's one of my absolute favorite sets. You know, I've used this team like combo a lot. I used to use it with Dragapult and Raichu. Sorry, Dragapult and Weezing, because it was so cool, and I figured like Giratina is kind of like Dragapult. They're very similar. They're Ghost Dragons. Combo should work exactly the same. Also, Giratina gets like some really cool moves. So he's going for a Bunker, and I would never proc that. I'm the expert Toxapex player. I know that you get that Bunker. So Brutal Swings are up. I wonder if we're going to proc like a Policy on the Raichu. That'd be hilarious. But it's going to hit everything on the board. Oh my gosh, look at that damage on Raichu. Is that crit? That's nuts how much damage I did to that Raichu. But let's see. So Giratina is going to get a sharply boosted attack and special attack thanks to its weakness policy. It's going for that Mind Storm. That's totally fine. Weezing, you know what? You did your job, Chief. It's time for Mosa to come out. It's time for Mosa or Regigigas, actually. Like, both of them are actually solid options here. I think I'm going to bring the Mosa and just go for, like, coaching plays because that's, like, super saucy. But let's see. Weezing goes down. And we're able to slam in the pressure, first of all. And we're going to take out this Raichu. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Big Phantasm from Giratina. Defense drop. I think it's also really cool that like Giratina and Dragapult, those are ghost types. They can apply that max Phantasm defense drop to opponents and then still be able to like capitalize on it. You know, the other day we were running like Special T-Tar and everyone's like, why are you running Special T-Tar? It's so bad. It's like max darkness lowers their special defense. So having a Pokemon whose max moves actually work for it is really good. And Giratina is a great example of that with the physical set that we're using today. So let's see, Mosa's up. Kind of wish I had Poison Jab right now just because be able to check the Coco. There's the Coco. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Even if you want to go for like a D-Weam or something, like we're going to be absolutely fine. I almost want to say I could just coaching and Airstream to like help me outspeed things. But like I think I'm just going to ignore that Pex forever. I think I will just ignore your Pex forever. Thank you, come again. And I'm actually going to U-turn. Because like he already blew his max. Yeah, I'm just going to U-turn because I don't want to lose my Mosa Sash. So let's see if he actually protects Coco. No protect Coco. Cool. U-turn's coming out. Yeah, we don't really need the coaching. So we're in a good spot here. We're going to come with Gigas. Yes, we have slow start, but like this is going to be totally fine. Like what's he really going to do? And Coco's a lot different from like a Regigigas. So there's not as many things Coco can do. Yes, it can still Electrode. Yes, it can still Screens. But like I don't have to be as afraid of like really big damage from Coco. Best you can do is like a D-Gleam here. Yeah, and you're going to see it doesn't do anything because Giratina is 1,000 times thicker than the Dragapult. Also note that we're using this altered form Giratina, so it has that 120 base in both defense and specialty. It's like super thick. And then there were two. We still have one left in our max. We have a Mosa and a Regigigas whose slow start's starting to work off. He goes for a Toxic. Yeah, that's not bad. Toxic's still pretty good. But Giratina does not have time for Toxic. He needs to deal damage. I bet you money that Toxapex is going to protect with the Baneful Bunker next turn. So we're just going to hit whatever is its partner. We're going to one-shot it, easy peasy. That thing's going to get one-shotted. Max Phantasm. And then this is going to be a -3 defense Pex. So it's like he might actually still get one-shotted from like a slow start Giga Impact if he doesn't bunker. Oh my gosh, so he's not bunkering. So let's see what we get. Let's see what we go for. Are you sashed, bro? You are not sashed. This is 3 defense drops. 3 of them. Can our Regigigas with slow start active One-shot of Toxapex. Giga Impact. Let's go, Gigas. Let's go. That's awesome. Oh, man. Like I said, this guy didn't have it restricted, but that doesn't change the fact that, like, that game was a lot of fun to play. And we used some pretty cool mons, used some pretty cool tech, and hopefully in the next one, we'll be able to fight some more restricted. All right, we're going up against the Legend Torkoal. So we see Torkoal, Grim, Yveltal. Yveltal is going to be hard for Giratina to deal with, but we do have that big Stone Edge in case we need it. Oh, I want to lead with Giratina so bad. I'm going to do it. What are you going to do? Even if you lead with, like, Grim, like, I actually want to say, like, we just melt you. So let's try these two. We do have to watch out for that Steelix. I'm going to bring Mosa almost exclusively for that. And then, like, Dusclops is so weird there for, like, Sun TR. I'm going to bring Steela just because we might need to wide guard in case they somehow get that up. And let's go. I also want to say that I really like Togetic on this team, and some people are like, why Togekick, not Togekiss? It's a really bulky, like, wall set with, like, Yawn and then Morning Sun for recovery. And so its main goal is to, like, make it so you have to force them to respect your follow me, and so they want to target the Togetic, so you can actually protect there to bait that. And then you have recovery moves as well, and you also have access to Yawn, so I can go, like, Yawn protect, Morning Sun protect, follow me protect, Morning Sun protect. You see, like, all the different ways that I can elongate the Togetic's, you know, survival on the board, and thanks to the Eviolite, we're able to be a little bit extra bulky. Speaking about extra bulky, one of these things is gonna die. And so I want to talk to you about this. A lot of you guys are thinking like, oh man, he wants to set Trick Room. But the people that are big brain are thinking he wants to go Ally Switch. And what I say to that is, I'm totally gonna go Dynamax. Phantasm, because I don't want to miss. Because Poltergeist can definitely miss. And then from there, if he does go for Ally Switch, he A, cannot use Ally Switch and Trick Room, and B, can't use like Will-O-Wisp and Ally Switch. So Brutal Swing will also break the Steelix's Sturdy. If it is Sturdy Steelix, he's going to withdraw Dusclops. That's a smart play there. Is it Yveltal? I don't think I actually care. This is actually going to do so much against this Yveltal. And then from there, I'm probably just going to protect my Giratina for a turn, hard switch in, you know, something else, and then be okay. I actually almost want to say Giratina can just laugh at this Yveltal's damage. It's also totally possible I outspeed. Our Giratina has a decent amount of speed investment. So we'll see. This might even do like over half. I wouldn't be surprised if like a crit KO just one-shot his Yveltal. Steelix gonna protect. That's actually pretty good for him because he's able to keep his sturdy intact, but he does get a defense drop. So it's gonna make body presses do a lot less. Okay, Yveltal. I wish I had the Dark Aura boost. I don't actually. I crit my own Giratina, never lucky. But the policies are up. And Stone Edge will just one-shot that guy if I play this correctly. We have Steela and what other mon in the back? Mosa? Steela Mosa? So look how much damage that is. That's like so freaking much damage. There's two ways I should play this. I actually think I'm just going to max guard my Giratina. And I will just switch in my Mosa. Because even if he does like double into the Mosa slot, like a good player, right? I'm able to just re-bring out my Weezing. And the fact that I'm Scarf means I'll just be able to Strange Steam out the Yveltal and pick up the KO there. So let's see what he goes for. Oh, you can totally max there. I still think also that my Giratina does outspeed. I really do think my Giratina outspeeds that Yveltal, but it's hard to say. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it and have him be some sort of like weird orb Dynamax set and just like one-shot my life. If he wants to go for like a Roost here, it'll show me that he's a lot, you know, more frail than he looks. Okay, cool. He's going to go for a max. If he hits the Mosa, he hits the Mosa, but I really think he's going to attack the Giratina here. I really think he is. Like, if he... Oh, he's maxing the Steelix. Is this a good player alert right now? Steelix looks so cool as a max mon. You see those shadows? Look, oh man, he's so like, Steelix looks angry. Let's see it. Max guard the Giratina. Is he roosting? Foul play. Not today. And you could totally hit the Mosa slot with like a Quake or something. Steel Spike. It re-mitigates his defense stat. So the Phantasm, you know, kind of just didn't work there. I still want to say I can take out the Yveltal though. With a close combat, because he's only at half. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. It's actually a better idea to double into the Yveltal just in case my Giratina does outspeed, in case it does need to actually go in there. So we're gonna Phantasm into the Yveltal, and we're gonna close combat into the Yveltal. And like I said, if things were to hit the fan and he like max guard, sorry, just goes for protect or something weird, we're able to bring out our Weezing, and Weezing just pretty good here. At checking the Eviolite. He switched the Eviolite. Show me Dusclops. Torkoal. Torkoal's gone. I'll take that. Like, we're gonna lose our Mosa here, but he's also gonna lose his Torkoal, and we know he only has a couple mons in the back. If he even decides to hit Mosa, I guess I didn't even talk about that. He could totally just like not hit Mosa. And I don't know if I should be respecting Steelix as much as I am. I'm actually disrespecting this Steelix pretty hard. I don't know if that's a good idea. But he's also like really running out of things to beat our Steela now. That was his big check. And now he's not gonna get it. So let's see if he hits the Mosa. Steel Spike. Who are you hitting, cheap? Yeah, and a Mosa. Great choice. Again, the fact that we're trading Phantasms for Steel Spikes means he's still technically only at neutral. Let's see, there's still a long ways to go in this game. I think you have to bring out the Weezing here, though, unfortunately. And he's going to be able to get a KO into that Weezing, so he totally is. There's nothing I can really do about that. But the Weezing should be able to KO the Yveltal with a Strange Team. Super effective. And then I'll be able to get one big attack into that Steelix slot. He knows that we're Scarf, too. Actually, he should know we're Scarf, because he outs better Giratina. Oh, shoot. I actually forgot. I'm not. I am. He's actually... Is he on a nice one? He's at neutral. He has an extra Dynamax turn on me. I didn't even notice that. That's sick for him. That's really good for him. That's very bad for me. We'll go for a Poltergeist. And we will go for the Strange Team. It would be so nice to go for like a Fire Blast there. But like, I think we have to just do it like this. And then from there, if your board's like Steelix Dusclops, I can just one-shot your Dusclops. And I can just Leech Seed your Steelix and I win the game. What? He actually ate that. That's gonna... Oh, can you please hit yourself? Please. Please. RNG. RNG. Yes! Oh, yes! Vested Yveltal, which is what that was. Down. Man, if he actually got that, like, he's weakness policy on that thing. Wow. If he actually got that Foul Play into our +2 Giratina, that would have been very not great. You can go for as many Steel Spikes as you want. That was your last big turn. And remember, you can't body press like a Giratina, so I'm in an okay spot. All we gotta do is make sure that we can connect with, you know, our Poltergeist or the Dusclops, and we'll be in a really good spot. Let's see, though. Steel is coming on the board. And I think we'll just be able to grind out Steelix regardless. We just gotta get the... Actually, should we just double into this Dusclops this first turn? I think that... There's no way he eats this Poltergeist, like, at all, right? I don't think there's a single way that happens, because he doesn't have any boosts on it. He sees our item. Ghost reduce Dusclops. That'd be nutty. Because he doesn't have any defense boosts on it. All the defense boosts are on the Steelix. Yeah, so like we're just gonna nuke it. And like Heavy Slime wouldn't do anything significant. So let's go for the Poltergeist. Again, Poltergeist is a really good move. 110 base, but 90 accuracy? Sometimes that's a little bit low, you know? I haven't missed one yet, but here's hoping I don't have to. And if he goes for like an ally switch or something, please don't miss. Oh, cool, we got it. Eviolite. That second where it pauses, I can't be the only one that thinks that second where it says, like, the Eviolite that they have attacks them. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks that that's, like, the missing animation because it's taking too long to initiate the actual attack. But we're going to be in a great spot here. We get our Leech Seed up. We're able to kill the Dusclops. And he goes for the Iron Tail, which I think is super swag. But, like, Giratina's literally Giratina. It's, like, the thickest thing in the world. And I'm sorry, Steelix, but I will not be proccing your policy this game. I will not. But what I will do is use your policy to deal damage to you from Poltergeist. I will do that. Might as well also Heavy Slam for like small chip damage. And I think we're going to get it. I think Steelix is actually a pretty decent mon in this format because it gets Wide Guard, which is like one of the best attacks in the game. And hopefully you guys like that battle. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the rental code one more time. And then we're going to go break down the EV spreads for all of our Pokemon one at a time because you guys liked that so much in yesterday's video. Here we go. Alright, so hopefully you guys like those battles. Like I said, Giratina is super hard to build around, but I think it's a Pokemon that if you can actually manage to get wins with it, it feels super rewarding and just makes for an overall really fun time, at least for me. It's one of my absolute favorite Pokemon. I think it pairs super well with the Regigigas and the Weezing as well in this team. And, you know, the Pokemon like Celesteela for cleaning out those games, a lot of the things that they want to bring, those, you know, those fire types and those electric types to guarantee like win against our Steela, those really struggle with the rest of our team. So if we preserve our Steela to the end game, you know, we're always going to be able to win. If we save Pheromosa in the back as a like a revenge KO sweeper, we're usually able to win as well. Again, be sure to check out this rental code. And if you guys are also interested in learning more about rental codes, looking to get in some coaching or other things like that, be sure to check out the link to our Patreon. There's a link to that in the description of this video as well. We have a ton of stuff going on Patreon, and there is going to be a Patreon exclusive tournament coming up as well as team submissions. If you guys want some team critiques and things like that, that's going to be open up relatively soon as well. But let's check out the EV spreads for the team, and we can actually start talking about, you know, why I made the choices that I did. So when I originally started this team, like I said, I wanted to build around Giratina. So Giratina has a ton of weaknesses, things like Ghost Horse, really impressive against it, Ice Horse, you know, there's so many things like Lunalas, other dragons, other Giratinas, Xerneas. Like, it seems almost impossible for Giratina to do well. And I was like, what's the only way that we can actually get Giratina to do well? And what all those Pokemon really do have in common, for the most part, is that either the Pokemon that are sweeping the Giratina or the Pokemon that enable those Pokemon to sweep Giratina are all reliant on abilities. So that is where the Galarian Weezing comes in. And so the Neutralizing Gas from Weezing is going to, you know, it's going to eliminate all of the abilities in the field. And so being able to lead that with Giratina allows us, so those Pokemon that are used to having like support to, you know, enable them to sweep, it's a lot easier to enable our own Giratina at a faster speed tier than they can actually deal with, and then from there, Giratina can just one-shot them before they actually get a chance to gain their footing. We also have dual Wingbeat here to go for like Airstreams and help KO Amoonguses, which I think is like actually super, super good. A lot of the time, if I actually get the Airstream up early, even if they want to come with their Xerneas or their Yveltal or, you know, what have you, I already have the speed boost, and Giratina has like a pretty decent speed stat. It's 90. And so, you know, let's just go into the calculator here. We can see I have my Giratina right here. If I get a +1, I go up to 165, which is a little bit slow. But at +2, which I will eventually get if I want to, 220 is like definitely fast enough. Actually, I was wrong. I have 12 points in here. Gotta put that in the right spot. Bam. Yeah, I did that. I was like, wait, why did it say I was wrong? Yeah. You can see I have 110. Not to 110. 112, which is perfect. So like at +1, I'm outspeeding base 100s, which is always a neat thing to do. And then at +2, I'm still outspeeding base 150s like Calyrex. So if I'm ever able to correctly get myself ready to deal with those Pokemon, it makes it a lot easier for us to just continue the sweep. This team definitely wants to hit hard, hit fast. For how bulky it is, it's very deceptive, like how much this team just steamrolls the game. Like Giratina becomes, you know, similar to Polt, how Polt would like Dynamax and just like, you know, one-shot things with max Phantasms and, you know, makes their opponent can't really gain their footing. Giratina does the same thing, but even if they gain their footing, they can't ever really one-shot the Giratina. This thing can eat Dark attacks, it can eat Dragon, it can eat Fairy, all those super effective attacks. Like, we're rocking 120 base defenses just flat with, like, full HP investment. Like, we probably don't even need this much HP. This can probably just be put into, you know, the defenses in a little bit better position, but I just think that, like, for this EV spread, it works just great. And overall, like, Poltergeist makes it hit hard. We have very good offensive coverage here. There's not that many Pokemon that Giratina can't hit for a super effective attack in the meta. And I feel that, like, when we get in that one-on-one bro with our Giratina versus their restricted mon, I think you saw we fought like an ogre, we're able to just, like, tear those things apart, and then also stick around a couple turns after and make it so just for a bulky mon that requires to be removed, and if they can't remove it, they still just lose. So that's what Giratina's set is there to do. It's able to outspeed base 100s at +1, able to outspeed pretty much everything else in the meta at +2, and the fact that like Giratina has base 90 means it's outspeeding pretty much everything that isn't their restricted mon. So like you're going to be outspeeding, you know, their Feenies and things like that. You're going to be outspeeding, you know, most of their walls, which means if you just want to go for like the Brutal Swing and the Dynamax, you just one-shot their walls with like Poltergeist, which is super, super nice. So going to the Regigigas, it's a pretty simple EV spread. I probably could have optimized this one as well, but again, let's go into the damage calculator just for 1 sec. So we got Regigigas. And so I was actually going to go like a really aggressive Regigigas. I really was. But then I looked at this EV spread. So like, if I wanted to go like full speed Regigigas, so like base 100 is a pretty decent speed tiering, right? It's pretty popular. And then they usually go like Jolly, or they sometimes go Adamant, but they're Jolly, right? So like 167 is what you actually get with that. And so like so Regigigas isn't the same as Giratina. Like Max Strike lowers their speed, which means all they really have to do is just switch out and come back. So it's not like it's giving itself Airstream boost, so it's not as good, which means because you want to lower them to your level, you don't actually want speed investment because you're not going to be keeping that speed. If you KO something, they're just going to bring out something else, which means all the effort you did to get speed control is relatively wasted. So you're actually better off with Regigigas, in my opinion, just putting points in bulk because, again, let's look at some other Pokemon. Let's look at the base 100. Let's look at Charizard, for example. Rigor. So it's a base 100. You know, I always use Charizard as an example when I'm looking at base 100 just because that's probably one of the more popular ones. So we can see the EV spread right there, 167. We make it at -1, it goes to 111, which still underspeeds our Regigigas even with 0 speed investment. So it's relatively the same thing, but we're afforded the luxury of putting full points in HP, which is very, very good. I think we also outspeed base 110s as well. So let's look at like Gengar, for example. I know we're not going to be able to hit a Gengar, but like Gengar is a base 110. Base 110 is another very popular speed tiering. So 178 at -1, it goes to 118. So we're still outspeeding there. How high can we really go? Let's replace this and just see if we outspeed 120s at -1. We do outspeed 120s at -1, so that's really good. So even like Inteleon level Pokemon, if we get, even with like no speed investment on this guy, sorry, he has to be Jolly, so I'm incorrect. I'm getting ahead of myself. There, 120. So Inteleon outspeeds us, but not like 115s. So actually 115 still do as well. Never lucky. So bone hundreds. I was right. I was right on one. There we go. That's the calc that I've done these calcs before. These are just old. But yeah, you're still outspeeding like base 110s. Just by having these limited investment. I actually could have maybe gone Jolly. That might have been a good idea. But you know, we're afforded the luxury of going like full bulk. And I think for this set, I didn't really want to go like protect or wide guard. I actually just wanted to be vested because if we go look at our set again, like if we throw an assault vest on this guy, that's the item, assault vest. And we have full HP. So like, let's look at what's a special attacker that's pretty prominent right now. Xerneas. Let's look at Xerneas. Because we used Xerneas yesterday. That's a pretty good Pokemon to look at. And so this is what you guys should always be doing. You should always be like, what should I be taking this damage from? Let's see. Let's actually just get a full Xerneas. So Xerneas. Let's do Showdown usage. That's great. So we can see this Xerneas is able to do Moonblast does nothing. Basically, it does nothing unless they get the Geomancy off. Let's just give it the Geomancy boost. So you can see how well we're eating. That's not max mode, so we're still actually living a +2 modest Moonblast with our Regigigas, even if we're not max, which is amazing. And let's also make one of these into Dazzling Gleam, just to like show you the amount of damage we mitigate from like doubles. So like, we don't even realistically always die, right? It's a 1.2% chance to 2-hit KO off just not being a max mode. And when we get to max mode, like, it's a 3-hit KO. 3-hit KO from Xerneas once they're maxed into this Regigigas set. So we're always going to be able to trade with them. And let's also show you how much damage we do back to Xerneas. It's going to be a lot. You're going to be surprised. So let's go. So we look how much damage we do back to him. That's against a full health Xern. Sorry, they're not going to be full health. We almost one-shot it, which means if we do like any chip, we're going to be able to one-shot it against like a regular Xerneas. So that's pretty nuts, I would say. I think that I'm looking at that right, yeah. Like in Dynamax Xerneas, it's a 2-shot, but like you can see just how much this Regigigas is made to like help us deal with Xerneas, just because like Xerneas is a problem matchup for Giratina, and you know, a lot of the Pokemon, like other Ghost Pokemon, for example, are really good against Giratina. Regigigas can take those out. You know, Regigigas weak to fighting things. Giratina switches and take those out. They go very well together, and they both work with the Weezing, which we've shown off a lot. A lot of people are arguing, ask me, why aren't you using Telepathy Giratina so you don't take damage for your moves? Well, you wouldn't be able to Brutal Swing proc your policy of using Telepathy, so this is going to hit everything. It works through redirection, which is really good. I think if I were to change one thing about this Weezing set, Fire Boss was there when Kartanas were really big, and I still think it's good because Metagross is still big, Solgaleo is still big, but I think in this format you would be better off going with Destiny Bond here, because we can go like Regigigas, Weezing, and like there's so many situations where like if they only get one restricted and it's not maxed for that turn, like if you have like an Ogre and I have a Weezing and you're like, cool, I'm a Water Spout, it's like I outspeed your Ogre and can just Destiny Bond, and if I trade my Weezing for your Ogre, I will win the game. Like that's super, super good. Like Destiny Bond is very, very good in these restricted formats. So if you guys are thinking about building Weezing, thinking about using this team, maybe think about using Destiny Bond there because it is a very, very good move. But other than that, Strange Team, really good coverage. Note that I went with this Weezing over the just the poison one, just because I wanted that big, a second fairy type. So again, if I have like Giratina on the board, like I could have Giratina, Regigigas just straight up lead. So they have to respect my ability to like switch up my Giratina for Weezing, or even switch out my like Regigigas for Weezing or something like that. It makes it so good as like a switch in for the Giratina to mitigate not only the dark damage, but the you know, dragon and fairy damage as well. It makes it for a perfect switch in for Giratina if it's just Giratina on the board. And so that's why I decided to go with this Weezing. And you know, I'm definitely always happy with this thing. 60 base speed. Let's go look at it here. So like Weezing-Galar. We go 252. Make sure it's timid. Look how fast it gets. Not at level 100 though. So it's like, that's actually pretty fast. So like we were compared to that Gengar we were looking at earlier. So it outspeeds like Gengars, which is like outspeeding base 110s is really, really good. It speed ties Whimsicott, which is a 115, I believe. Yep. Oh, actually it outspeeds Whimsicott. Am I wrong? Is Whimsicott 115 or 116? Even I learn stuff every day. Whimsicott's 116, so it speed ties Whimsicott. And that's actually pretty important because a lot of the time, you'll win that speed tie, and if you get the Sludge Bomb off, they're just super gone. But a very, very good speed stat to have. Being able to it does outspeed 115s if those were, you know, popular, but there's not really that many popular. So up next is going to be Steela. Like I said before, Wide Guard's one of the best moves in the game. I think every team should have Wide Guard because there's so much AoE. There's Origin Pulse, Precipice Blades, Eruptions, Astral Barrage, the Glacial Lance, the list goes on and on, and on and on and on. Earthquakes, Rock Slides, Fiery Wrath, all those things. Dazzling Gleam. Wide Guard's very important to have. Steel is able to elongate the games, and I really like this Steel set because, again, it's a little bit physical, just because we are using a physical attack in Heavy Slam, and that can be boosted by Pheromosa's coaching, which makes it so this thing's like unkillable. This EV spread in particular is made to it's an EV spread to do with Zapdos, so basically you just don't die to the max lightning from Zapdos, which is really, really important. And a little bit of speed's never a bad thing, especially in these Pokemon that have like the 60s-ish speed tier. So if you want to outspeed their Incineroars every single time, this is a good way to do that. You know, outspeeds those just regular Incineroars that don't have the time to put the points in speed. And it also helps you outspeed other Steelas in case you ever have to fight the mirror match, because the first person to get the Leech Seed up is usually going to be the person that wins. So pretty good Pokemon. I think it goes very well with Giratina and Weezing as a defensive switch-in. And the fact that, you know, we have Wide Guard and Leech Seed, it's very, very underrated. I've talked about the Togetic, sorry, a lot before. Very, very important. A lot of people like to compare Togetic to Togekiss. And I think it's really funny to note the only thing Togekiss really has going for it is it has like 10 more base defense. I think it has like 10 or 15 more specialty, and then has like 20 more base HP. Togetic is way more bulkier. The Eviolite is going to give a 1.5 boost to our defense and special defense if we're not fully evolved. So that's why we're using Togetic here. Like I talked about, we're not doing any damage. It's about creating as many 50-50s as possible. Let's say I have a board where I have Giratina and Togetic on the board, or Regigigas that's already done with slow starts and Togetic, or Pheromosa and Togetic, or Celesteela and Togetic, no matter what the board is. If I have that board, right, they have to say, all right, if I want to get to the Giratina, I have to go through the Togetic. So a lot of people will attack the Togetic. If I expect them to attack the Togetic, I also know my Giratina is super bulky, so it doesn't matter if they want to attack Giratina with those attacks. I can just protect, right, which will make them waste their time hitting Togetic while Giratina's slamming +2 moves into their whole team, just absolutely decimating everyone. And so they want to attack the Togetic. I can protect evade that out. And if they even have enough damage to KO the Togetic, that's first of all. I can also weave in Morning Suns, I can weave in Yawns, Follow Me's. They have to always respect the Follow Me. They always have to respect the Protect, and then a lot of the times the last little, you know, cog in the plan there is, you know, let's talk about like playing against like Clefairy, for example, or playing against like Togekiss, or even Indeedee. Indeedee's a great one to look at. One way to like know that you're winning against an Indeedee is like, cool, well, I'll play around there, Follow Me. Oh, they got me with their Protect, it's really hard. But like, if you get any damage to stick on the Indeedee, if you always just continue start attacking that Indeedee, if you get damage to stick, they can't restore it. Togetic, on the other hand, I can go for the turn I know you're going to hit the Giratina, pop a Protect with my Giratina, or switch with my teammate and pop a Morning Sun, and then you'll have to restart your whole strategy of getting damage to stick on the Togetic. And if you have to invest that much time and effort into just dealing with my Redirection Mon, while it's also throwing Yawns out there every other turn, forcing you to switch, which is really good for me, like, I'm eventually going to be able to grind you out. Obviously, I can't attack anything, but that's never been the point. It's about enabling my other teammates to be, you know, as healthy and free as possible, and I think Togetic does a really good job of that. Also, I did want a flying Pokemon to be able to make it so, like, if, you know, I have Weezing Regigigas on the board, a lot of times what people do first turn immediately, they will throw those Max Quakes into that Weezing stat so hard, and being able to switch in your Togetic there while still having a Pokemon that can like help enable your teammate and doesn't like sacrifice a ton of board pressure, it's still really important. And I just wanted to be able to always have a Pokemon that was a decent switching for Weezing. Obviously, I know they still have that weakness to like you know, Steel, and if I really thought that was gonna happen, I could switch into Steel or something like that. So that's what Togetic does. And also like Protect Yawn's like super busted. Last Mon, though, is going to be the Pheromosa here. And I think Pheromosa is really, really cool here. I think Pheromosa Giratina is really cool because we can go for coaching. It gives it an attack and defense boost, which is very good for Giratina. It's very good for Regigigas. It's very good for Celesteela. And you know what? I don't even have to do a lot of those things. I can go for Protects. I can go for Close Combats. This is an Adamant Pheromosa, so it's going to be doing so much damage, as you saw bust out today. And also we have U-Turn. I think U-Turn is just very, very underrated on this Pokemon. So, like, I can have a board where I lead, like, Regigigas Mosa, and they're like, he might coaching, which I totally might. I could also just attack, I could protect, there's so many things. I could also speed swap if they, you know, were suspecting that. But what I can also do is U-turn to break your Sash, bring in my Weezing, my Regigigas loses its slow start, one-shot something, and then from there they don't know that we're Scarfed Weezing. So remember how I was talking about earlier, like what if our Weezing, you know, had Destiny Bond and things like that? You're able to go for really, really sneaky Destiny Bonds because you know they're going to tunnel into that slot. And then from there, you just kind of win the game. I think U-turn's very, very good on this Pokemon. The fact that we stab U-turn means it does a lot more damage than people think. And you could totally put Lunch here. You could totally put, like, what is that? Triple Axle or Poison Jab. I think Poison Jab's also a very good option to help deal with fairies, because those are sometimes a little bit problematic. But I really do like the U-turn close combat variant, and it adds a ton of usefulness to this Pokemon. And again, 151 base speed, we're outspeeding a lot of different things. If you really wanted to go Jolly to make sure you outspeed those Ghost Horses and maybe put something to help you hit those Ghost Horses, that could help you deal with Ghost Horses, because that Pokemon is a problem for Giratina. But I think I like the team the way it works. We can always wide guard those things, and we'll be in a really good spot. Or, you know, bring out Giratina, max it, eat the Astral Barrage, proc a Policy, have Togetic on the board to go for Follow Me, to make it so they couldn't just max you in case they want to do that, and you'd be in a good spot there too. So that's pretty much all I have to show for this team. Hopefully you guys like this video. It's been 2 days in a row that we've went into the full EV spread moveset item breakdown. So if you guys are still liking those, you want to see more, think about dropping the sub to the channel, guys. We're trying to hit 22K. We're probably like 10 subs away from 22K. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. I'll also say that you guys should sign up for our tournament. We host monthly tournaments every single, not monthly, we host weekly tournaments every single Friday, sorry. And get that off there. And I'll show you guys right now the rental code, or not the code, the competition ID if you guys want to sign up for that. Looks like we have 43 people right now. You guys can completely sign up. It's 1DBRVC0L1. Be sure to sign up for that. It's completely free to enter. It's a great way to test. We host these every single week on Friday at twitch.tv/THATSAplusONE. There's a link to that in the description of this video. You can play up to 15 games, and it's a great place to test in a tournament setting. And also, because we're all in my stream, if you have questions, like you fought someone, you're like, I thought I would outspeed. Like, what was your moveset? Give me some feedback on my team. What did you think? Like, people will answer you. It's a very fun way to learn more as a community. Speaking of community, we also have a Discord. There's a link to that in the description as well. If you're looking for trades, you're going to learn more, you know, go get battles, test best of threes, stuff like that. Think about checking out the Discord. And other than that, I've talked for a while. Hopefully you guys are liking these more in-depth videos. Basically, the reason why I wanted to do more in-depth videos was I tried watching a couple other PokeTubers, which is something I don't normally do. And I was like, man, all these guys are really cool, but when they make a team, they either A, don't show the rental code, they do B, they show the rental code at the end, they do C, they show a rental code but no pay spin, or they show a pay spin but no rental code, or like D, they do a mix of all those things, but then when they're playing, they're not explaining why, or when they don't really talk about their team building process. They kind of just make all the plays, and then you guys can watch and react, and that's cool, but that doesn't help you guys. And so I decided, like, if I was a viewer and I wanted to watch a video about Pokemon, like, how would I want to watch a video to where I can learn as much as possible? So I'm breaking down every single turn, breaking down my full team building. I'm showing you guys every single thing you need to know to be just as good, if not better than me. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. Like I said, if you haven't dropped that sub or a like or a comment, I would really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 22K, and other than that, peace out, guys. Hopefully you have a good one, and hopefully we'll see you this Friday on stream in the tournament. Have a good one.